I'm Kevin Parker.
I'm Renee Parker, and this is James Parker.
We're the Parkers, and we want to tell you a little bit about our story with Family to Family Network. Renee and I were married in 1984. We had our first child, Amy, in 1988, and then we had James in 1991. And that was after we had moved to Amarillo, Texas. James was born, and when he was about 9 months old, we got a diagnosis regarding his condition, and we were told that he had something called the Allan-Herndon-Dudley syndrome, which is a X-linked genetic condition. And we were told by a neurologist that that was going to create both physical and cognitive challenges for James throughout his life. And so that's a significant and kind of devastating diagnosis. And we felt instantly overwhelmed at the thought of the prospect of what this was going to look like. We couldn't really get our minds around it.
Well, when we were leaving Amarillo, we were talking about moving to Houston, and I asked some of the parents there if they knew of anyone in Houston, and they said, well, we believe there's a group there called Family to Family Network. And so that is how I found out about Family to Family. And when I came to Houston, one of the very first things I did was look this group up. And I immediately got in touch with them, and I think by August, which is the month we moved here, I went to the first Family to Family meeting because I just knew that we needed help, we needed support, we needed the resources that Family to Family could provide. Through the years, they helped us through the education process, and then when James was in 8th grade, Family to Family brought a speaker in by the name of Carrie Griffin. And Carrie Griffin was a employment specialist. And he told wonderful stories about people with disabilities getting jobs. And I went home that night and I told my husband, Kevin, James is going to be employed. I don't know how, but I was inspired and I was ready to pursue that dream. I talked to others in Family to Family. We brainstormed how this could happen. I learned about self-employment, and that was the perfect vehicle for James to become employed, because he wasn't going to go out and compete in the regular job market, and he wasn't going to fill out an application and do an interview. But if we could come up with a self-employment business that James loved, then he could be employed. And one thing James loves to do is put objects into containers. And so we took that skill and we turned it into a business. Now James puts paper into a shredder and he loves it. And we call the business Shredding on the Go. We roll James's wheelchair up into his van, and we put the shredder in the van and we take off and we do shredding. And not only is James the business owner of Shredding on the Go, but he is also employing other people with disabilities to work for Shredding on the Go so that they are employed. And so we've had an impact on others' lives, and it all started with Family to Family.
These are dedicated people running this organization, mostly parents of kids with disabilities who really care and really want to be there for you. Working after hours, not getting paid a lot. They're there because they care and they want to make the lives of people with disabilities better, and they can do that by helping their parents.
Hi, my name is James, and I am a big fan of Family to Family Network because they helped me go to school the way I wanted to. Instead of being separated from other kids, I was in their class, making friends, and learning how to act in school. I loved it. And that helped me to be ready to run a business. I'm a people person because of who I met in school, and I met people in school because of Family to Family Network.
Yeah, Family to Family needs to stay around because children with disabilities are being born every week, every month, all the time, and their parents need the help Family to Family provides. That's not going to stop. And so the services we got, starting way back in 1995 and continuing since then, need to continue for other parents, especially parents of very young children who are facing this new thing for the very first time. And also the law changes, the medical benefits change, the technology changes. Family to Family keeps up with that and helps parents keep up with that. It's a fluid world. Everything's changing. And so we need an organization that with staying power like Family to Family Network to stay around.